Yeah, there you go.
Okay, just give me 2 minutes.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, so, yeah, that's right. So, are we on?
Yes,
Okay,
man.
so, YouTube, this is Ron. Ron has agreed to do an interview with us about the subject of recovery houses. And I was just over there talking about how we need to bring in local autonomy within our recovery houses, which is a form of self-government, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with any of this?
Yeah, well, my sister was in one, so recovery house, so no.
Okay, so she was in a recovery house. So was it one done by, like, with just somebody in the community versus maybe a government one?
It ended up being a bad place.
A bad place?
Yeah, because they just took the funding and everybody was still addicts in the house. Right?
Okay, so they were taking the money, but they weren't really providing services in terms of what your sister needed.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so so it didn't work for her.
No, it didn't.
It didn't work for
not
her.
That particular house. It did not. Right?
Not at that particular house. Did she move on to another one?
Yeah, she did.
And how did that one go?
She's 5 years clean now.
Okay, so what was the difference between the two?
Well, I'd probably say about how it was run by the people.
Okay.
They didn't have proper skills for it and stuff, right?
Okay, well, I don't have proper skills to start a recovery house, but I have a foundation.
Oh, that helps.
Oh yeah, it has. So what I want to do is we have a need. You can see that we have a need. Would you not agree that we have a need in Surrey for more recovery houses?
I'd say so.
Okay.
For proper
I was
recovery
almost
houses.
10 months myself, and I just got back on the homeless program, so I mean, it's been tough, right?
Okay, it's been tough.
10 months in the bush, right?
10 months in the bush.
Yeah.
And there's lots of people in the bush.
There's a lot of homeless there.
There's a lot of homeless. So in terms of my foundation, bringing in a recovery house, I'm talking we'll start with quality versus quantity. But the thing is, I would like, it's like a personal responsibility, but we'll call it autonomy with, local autonomy within the members of that house.
Oh yeah, exactly. You want it to be more for the people, not for your
That's right.
self-interest.
That's right. And when you start bringing in local autonomy, which is like a form of personal responsibility, in my opinion, right? You start bringing in a sense of immunity for the people that are living in that house in terms of, protecting them from the violence in our community. Because I think even some of the recovery houses that we have now, I don't think that there's that wall of protection to protect people from being exposed to the violence in our community.
Yeah, it depends on the area where you have it too. If you have it down in an area where everything is happening, it makes it a lot easier to be triggered, right?
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Like if you have a recovery house across the street from the strip, it's gonna be a lot harder to stay clean than.
Or if you have one right here or something.
Yeah, it'd be a lot harder than staying clean if it was like in White Rock or Delta, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're saying that if I'm looking to start a recovery house, I should take it away from the community where the services are?
I think you should do it in the community, but a little bit offbeat of where, like right here, maybe,
Yeah. Okay. So maybe 128th up down in that area or something. But you still need to be able to have access to the bus because a lot of the people that live here, even though they're homeless, a lot of their services are around here. That's one of the things that I hear.
Very limited though.
The services are very limited. Is it because they're being pushed out of this area because we've got gentrification going on in the neighborhood, or is it because they're just not there?
Just not there, I think.
Just not there.
I don't think they're there.
Okay, but you do realize there is a form of gentrification going on in the neighborhood, right?
Oh,
You do realize that we've got a new library over there, a new rec center for the youth over there. We've got a city hall being built somewhere around in this
That's the
neighborhood.
Right beside the library.
Huh?
Right beside the library.
Okay.
The Olympics caused that, or drive more revenue here, right?
Well, I wouldn't say it caused that. I think it was the catalyst for it. I think it was the excuse to cut back on the services that the people actually. You see, I speak on behalf of the people. I'm not your regular mayor, if you want to call it like that, right?
I totally believe in that. It's not a money grab. You actually want to help people, right?
Yes, that's right. So if I was to manage to secure a house, I go to a landlord. I say, look, I want to rent this house. I want to start a recovery house. We're going to do it through the foundation. Well, what do you think my chances are of coming out here and finding 10 people that will actually bring in some local autonomy, take some personal responsibility, and help me to make this thing work? Because without the people making it work, there's nothing that I could do to convince them that we could do it again.
I'd be the first one to sign up.
You'd be the first one to sign up.
For sure would.
Okay, and so if you're signing up, because I'll give you my card with my number and you can keep in touch with me. So if you're signing up, what kind of skills are you bringing to the table? Tell me, Ron.
I can do lots of things.
Like what?
I don't know. Lots, actually.
Handyman? Can fix everything?
Pretty much everything. I can build anything.
So what would you like to see for the house? If I came to you and I said, look, I got this 5-bedroom house. We will only put 2 in a room. Is that too much? So I hear there's 4 to a room. I think that's too much.
2 in a room is more than enough. Yeah.
What's that? I'm a little deaf.
Yeah.
What did you say? I don't like, personally, I don't want to put two to a room.
First time I've done this. I'm not,
He's shy, right?
I'm not even looking at the camera. You know what I mean?
I know. It's just character building, right? It makes you strong,
You're
right?
doing well.
Thank you. So currently we're getting 4 to a house, so you're getting 16 guys in one house. That's too much.
Yeah, it could be a little
Into 2 rooms, 4 times. Sometimes 4 guys in one room, 75 each with no food, nothing. That's retarded. That gives them that gives them, if they're not on methadone, that gives them $40 a month to buy their cigarettes, to buy extra food, right?
Yeah.
What's that? Nothing.
Okay, well I'm thinking 2 to a room. If we get a 5-bedroom, as long as we got the rent covered, the hydro covered, the gas covered, I want a living room and a rec room, one for like 2 TVs so that you can share TVs, and obviously internet lines so that people can build on their skills in terms of whether it's education online. Don't worry about that.
No,
okay?
it doesn't matter. I don't.
Who cares?
I do.
Whatever.
Anyway.
So anyway, it is what it is. so
some people you gotta be careful, Mom.
the next news girl.
Yeah. So and then from that point forward, we kind of make it a group thing. I know people got their problems, and some are going to take a little. You don't look like it. Looks like you can do numbers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not just smarter.
Oh. Huh?
I'm smarter than I look.
Okay.
You
so
seem
you can
like
do
it.
numbers because it's
See it in your
filed
eyes.
through a foundation. Everything has to be accountable. So we got to start up bookkeeping. Okay, and then what happens is, if there's a profit after, this is what I'm thinking, right? If there's a profit after everybody pays their rent, which will include some form of food, okay, and we'll we work on building in a garden and that kind of
make it
stuff, right?
self-efficient,
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah, and maybe bring in some disaster preparedness, and so that people can feel bring in that local autonomy, that personal responsibility, right? And then if there's a profit, half the profit can stay within the recovery house, and then as a group, people can draw on that as an extra wage for doing an extra chore, and then the other half of the profit can stay in the foundation to go on to our second recovery house.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a viable plan?
And start a chain.
Start a chain. That's right. That's what the foundation can do.
Do it for the people that are in recovery house, not for their own self-interest, right?
Okay.
That happens a lot. I know a lot of recovery houses here that it's like that, right?
Well, I got a lot of books I can donate, and I can start with nothing, and we can make our own rules. And it's like a local politician would say, we would bring in local autonomy within the community of the recovery house, which is fostering personal responsibility, which brings in self-empowerment, like you say, because you're building on your skills, you're exercising your brain, you're exercising your body, you start to feel good about yourself, and then once you get to a point where you just kind of want to branch out, you branch out.
Oh yeah, you got to start somewhere. You got to, like you said, you got to have a foundation to start things before you start building.
Okay, so do you think it would be filling a social economical gap in terms of bringing down the level of violence? Because this is what brought me out here today, was the shooting that happened just up at McDonald's last night at 9 o'clock at night, where I have a series under my YouTube where this is hood violence number 4, because somebody died and somebody's still in the hospital, and from what I'm gathering on the internet in terms of the news articles that are out there, it was probably gang related. But I want to be a part of the solution. So do you think these recovery houses would help to end and eliminate some of the violence and being lots of stabbings?
Well, it's Surrey though.
Well, I know. So will the recovery houses that we're working on, do you think that we can start reversing some of that?
Maybe you can slow it down maybe a little bit, yeah.
Slow it down? And then through education, maybe we can start to reverse it, depending on the type of program that we bring in to educate?
I think that it's the young that have to be educated.
In terms of young, what age are you talking about?
I'm talking like teenagers nowadays,
Okay,
because they are the future, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. But how do we reach the 30-year-olds?
My son's in a gang, so I mean, what can I say?
Oh, well, they're rumbling. The kids are rumbling up in Newton. Okay, I'm going to go out there with my ghetto blaster and my G-Kid hats and be doing some stuff down there and watch and see. Okay, but the thing is, no, what I'm trying to say is, okay, you got the poorest of the poor stabbing each other, shooting each other, okay, because I've been reporting on it, okay? And then we've got, the upper ones that are a little, meatier and have a little more buff and do a little more clout and a little more money, and they're running a lot of game, but they're getting shot and stabbed, and they're getting the same stuff that the poorest of the poor are getting. So I don't think anybody in our community is waiting to get stabbed or shot. So what I'm trying to say, it doesn't matter who you are. I think if we can somehow get the message out there where we can start educating the whole, not just the kids, but we have to get into the 30s and the 35 and the 40-year-olds and the 20-year-olds, because they're the ones that are perpetrating the stabbing. It's not so much 12-year-olds stabbing each other. Not yet.
Well, some they got big shoes to fill, so I don't know.
Okay, so bottom line is the recovery house. Do you think that the recovery house that what we just talked about could start reversing some of the level of violence that's in our community? If we were to bring in some form of education that could educate from 30 and up, from 30 to 20, and from 20 to 12.
Yeah, for sure you could.
Okay? And that would be
something has to be changed for sure in a different way.
Something has to be changed.
Yeah.
So you want to sign up?
Of course.
So you're not in you say you're in a homeless program, but what does that mean?
Well, I mean, I still haven't got a place to live yet.
You haven't got a place to live yet.
They're working on it for me because I haven't got one yet.
So are you looking like for?
I get half my check every 2 weeks, and it doesn't do nothing for me. Really.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I get $100 for that every 2 weeks. So.
Yeah.
Wow, that must be hard to find a place.
Just say I'm on the street still.
Seems like a pretty nice
The
guy.
problem with the welfare system is that they don't pay enough. You know.
No, I know
Like,
that.
You should spend a lot of money doing construction and everything, but
Yeah.
you do.
So it's $600 for a single person. Now most recovery houses are at $550.
$575.
$575. So I'm thinking
$40.
I'm thinking $525 because we're not looking for a profit. If there's a profit, it has to.
That includes your food and everything, right?
Yeah. And then, but the
Lose you $70, $80 a month.
That's fair.
$40. That's Chris said that works out.
Okay. Okay. All right, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Here, I'll give you my card.
Yeah, sure, do that.
And then
Seems like you're really getting it together.
I'm trying to give these apples and the rest of it. You know.